Welcome on in. Welcome on into the Cards Companion. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on when and where you're watching in from. It's your boy Josh here, as we said in the intro. I'm joined by my fabulous friend James. How you doing, James?
Doing good.
Hell yeah. Max. I got Max with me, the OG. What's going on, Max?
What up? Glad to be with you
Yeah.
boys tonight or this morning or whenever you're watching.
It's all the same, man. Kind of jumping on in, pretty big staff changes. In total, from my count, we have uh 6 guys rotating, which is kind of crazy. That's not something that we've seen from Louisville football under the Jeff Brown regime. This has been really the first big shakeup in a long time. Uh, kind of wanted to get in today, talk about it a little bit. We'll start off with, in my opinion, the really big one, defensive coordinator, Ron English. For the roller coaster that Ron English has been here at U of L, uh, he steps away from the program. He says, hey, you know what? My son, he is going into his senior year at the Naval Academy. I want to spend as much time with him as I can before I commission. Steps away from the program, and in response, Louisville, they promote Steve Ellis and Mark Ivy as co-defensive coordinators. I mean, just the whole situation has been weird.
I'll let you go first, man.
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Weird is definitely one of the first words that comes to mind. I try not to say lazy because I know that's a word that I've seen thrown around a lot. I I think that if you genuinely plan on bringing Ron back, I think that's your best options. For the time being, because I know like for the last time we talked, I think we talked about it. There are two real options I seen was either you completely move on and you just hire a DC, or you essentially just have to make it work with what you have. The latter is what they chose. How it works out, I'm not 100% sure. So, I mean, I know Steve Ellis has been around program for a while, and run English for a while. So, maybe it's just the glove fits perfectly. Um, so we shall see.
Yeah. James,
It
what's your
sucks
initial thoughts?
that Ron's coming off arguably his best year on a defense side of the ball since he came to the university. Full respect to him. He's going to go take care of what's important and be with his son for that moment. I think Jeff realized his assistants had been there for multiple years. They're very respected by the current roster, and are very appealing to transfer portal and high school. Mark Ivey's very highly talked about amongst recruits, as well as Steve Ellis, as you can see in some of the portal additions that you've been seeing come in over the course, which we'll talk about in other videos. However, it's obviously there's going to be a learning curve going from Ron English to Mark Ivey, who's never been a DC at the P4 level. Do I think it can work? It's a risk, but Mark Ivey's been here a long time. He knows what this team is. He knows what this city needs, and I have trust in Mark Ivey.
Yeah, I think so. My big initial takeaways, and I know we've kind of been away from YouTube for a little while, but if you follow our content anywhere else, we do a lot of live shows via Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. This is not me crapping on Steve Ellis or Mark Ivey when I say this. This was handled so poorly by the university. I mean, it is the day we were recording this is February 6th. Ron English stepped away from the program in early January, and there's still not been a single press release from the program or from the university saying that he's not with the program. There's been no announcement. Um, they didn't really start looking around till after the portal was open for DC. Um, just that aspect of it was handled very, very poorly, in my opinion.
The only thing we really got was, coming from outside media pundits that that he was leaving. And even at that point, it just the program acted like everything was just running like there was nothing to see here. and it's just concerning, I guess is a word. But
Yeah, something that we've hit on a lot, and again, this is not me crapping on those certain individuals, but the messaging from the program is really bad. Really, really bad.
I'll say just throughout the athletic program, not
I
even
agree.
just from
Yeah.
the football program.
No, I agree with that. But so yeah, that was weird. And then there's just because of sorry, the cat. Because of the lack of info that's going on with all of this, there's been legitimate rumors that Ron has not left the program, that he is returned to the program, that he is returning next season. I don't know about any of that. But in my opinion, again, this is not me trying to crap on Ivy or Ellis. I'm not a fan of this hire. I'm not at all. I think that there were a lot of really good candidates that you missed out on. They were very, very obtainable. I even think that there is one or two guys that are current head coaches for G5 teams that you could have gotten, if you want my honest opinion. I know we've had Co-DCs the past few years. I know that Co-DCs are more normal in college football than you would expect, but it's typically a very proven DC with an unproven guy. And I've seen Mark Ivy call plays on one game. And Steve Ellis, I know he's a great secondary coach. I don't know if he's a great defensive coordinator. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I think this is going to be a very big inflection point for the program, especially when we look at next season. You're returning a lot of good pieces. You on paper,
and you're bringing in a lot of good pieces.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, on paper, you have a top 15 unit, and it's not homerish to say that. You were a top 20 unit this year. There's an expectation there. And I don't know who it falls on if this goes wrong, but there's a real possibility this could go wrong.
I think my biggest concern with it is, exactly what you were getting to. There's a extremely high probability. I would say there's a higher chance that this goes wrong than it goes right when you have arguably one of, if not the best on paper team as far as players and personnel in that on the field that you've had.
Yeah. And
that scares me.
And again,
that could be thrown to the wind.
And again, I like Ivy and I like Ellis a lot. And maybe they are great. And if they are great, I'm happy with that because they're great position coaches. And they're great leaders on the defense. I've never seen one of them call plays. And that's worrisome to me. Well, we've seen Ivy for a game call plays. I apologize. So and I'll be honest, I don't think Ron English comes back to the program.
I don't know where else he'd go.
Yeah. And the thing with Ron is,
I mean, genuinely, if you would have told me that he was leaving the program for any other reason than to go be a part of his son's final college career playing, I would have 100% agreed with you. But where else? Where's he gonna go?
I know that we all think about 24 when we think about Ron English. But even given 24, he has an impressive resume here at Louisville.
He does. I mean,
Recruiting and on the field.
resume, I would say, overall.
Yeah.
But I think you're seeing a lot of, I guess a better way to phrase what I was saying, where's he going to go that would be a step up?
We'll put it this way. Well, we're just being honest here. U of L, we don't pay our assistants a lot of money. He could go be the secondary coach at Georgia and make more money than he was making as a DC. Hey, real quick while I have you here, if you're enjoying this show and you want to see more just like it, hit that red subscribe button right now. It literally takes 1 second. When you subscribe and turn on notifications, you're never going to miss a drop. Whether it's the next big breakdown, new pickups, giveaway, or just me and the boys ranting about how much we love the cards. Seriously, tap, subscribe, plus hit that bell. Let's keep moving this community together. Now back on over to the video. Peace. Go be the DB coach at Ohio State and make the same or more. I don't know. It's a mute point. I'm not going to sit here and talk about Ron all night, but I mean, it's been a very weird situation, and I think it hasn't been handled the best, in my opinion. But I'm willing to keep somewhat of an open opinion with Ivy and Ellis because I like both those dudes. I think they're both legit coaches. But anything else to
It's
add
a
before we
risk,
move
but
on?
hopefully it's worth it.
All right,
Hey,
so
I
the
mean,
next
worst case scenario is the season falls apart.
your largest financial investment in Louisville football ever. So the pre-existing defensive line coach Mark Hagan, he's not fired, but he's not renewed. He's no longer with the staff. In my opinion, I think that Louisville's had a lot of really good defensive lines since he's been here. But a lot of that is because of talent, and there's been a lot of very weird little things that we've done, like move Ashton Gelati inside on 30% of the plays that he was in. It's one of those where I like the guy, but I'm not sad to see him leave. Honest to God. I think defensive line play's been good because you've recruited defensive line very well, and talent shows out.
I think just with it being essentially mutual. I mean, I don't know how necessarily mutual it was, but it's not a mid-season fire. It's not a firing after a season. It's just, hey, thanks, but we're done here. So
I think
a lot better than it could have been.
I do know he was the only assistant from the 24 season that didn't get an extension after that season. And so I don't know if that was part of it.
It could have been, but my whole thing again is like the D line's been very good, but there's been a lot of like really head scratching things with the D line, similar to the Ashton thing, where it was like, what are we doing here? Replacing him will be Mark Ivy. Mark Ivy was the linebacker coach. He's going to D line to take over from Hagan. Along with that, he'll be the co-DC, as we previously hit on. With this one, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, Ivy, sure, you're coaching D-line. Cool. You're co-DC and doing that. Taking Ivy's spot as a linebacker coach is an internal hire, or I guess promotion. That's Adam Mueller. He was a quality control coach here at U of L for, I believe, 2 seasons. He's going up to linebacker coach. He's going to be on the field. This is one of those, I like promotions from within. This might sound very homer of me, so I apologize, but I think Louisville's had a very solid QC staff since Jeff has been here. That's been a very big difference than the Satterfield era. QC room's been very big, and you got a lot of good names in it. I think this is one of those. I've been told that this guy's pretty legit, so I'm excited. I'm excited for Mueller.
I guess I'll go first on him. I'm in a similar thought as you, Josh. I'm always, we've talked about that at length before, how I always would rather promote from within. Whenever the rumors had started to swirl about Ron possibly leaving, I was the first one that kind of popped in to say just promote Ivy or Ellis. I have heard that the linebacker position will be took care of, and he's coming into a room that's probably one of the most talented rooms in the country.
No, it is. I mean, it easily is. It is an uber talented room that you got. So I'm excited for this one. I know my friend Ty Spalding, he loves his hire. He is stoked about this one. I trust it. I'm ready to see it. Also, then replacing Steve Ellis, Steve Ellis will be, I think he was secondary coach was his term last season. Now Steve Ellis will be he will oversee the secondary and Brandon Sharp will be coaching safeties. So I don't know exactly how that whole riffraff works, but Steve Ellis is working with the secondary. Brandon Sharp's working with the safety specifically. Brandon Sharp is another quality control guy that they moved up. He actually played at U of L. He was a DB here for a little while. Again, I've heard to be very excited about this one. I like the promotion from within. It's one of those things with these QC guys. I trust the QC room. I might as well trust them as position coaches. I
You
mean,
bring in
there's
a
only
lot of
so much
transfer
you can
portal talent
say. You do. And then also a new defensive ad. You have John Tavius Morris. He was a former Louisville quality control. He was not with Louisville. He was the defensive ends coach at Louisiana Monroe, little ULM Sunbelt action. He is going to be a defensive tackles coach or defensive assistant that specializes in defensive tackles along with recruiting. I can tell you right now, as a guy that watches a lot of G5 football, ULM, their D lines have been pretty good. I'm good with it. I like this hire. And again, it's another guy that Jeff is very, very comfortable with, or the program is very comfortable with, which I think is a recurring theme. Hey guys, that's going to wrap us up on our video talking about the changes to the defensive staff. We had a little bit of technical difficulties with our recording software, so we lost about the last 5 minutes of it. This is me in post-production, as you can tell from the different shirt, different layout, all that good stuff. But as always, we want to thank you guys for watching so much. It really does do a lot for our channel. We really do appreciate our viewership. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. What was your favorite staff addition this off season? We will be back later next week talking about the offensive side of the staff changes, along with bringing you guys some really quality interviews again. But thank you guys as always. We'll catch you all later. Go Cards.